Let's talk about Turo. A couple car changeovers today that I needed to do. When you do a changeover, the first thing you do is you visually inspect the entire vehicle. You check the entire exterior, make sure there's no new damage, make sure the tires, the wheels, all the doors look good, make sure it starts up fine. And you do the same with the interior, checking all the seats, the dashboard and everything. And in doing this, you're gonna be taking photos of this too, because that's the post-trip photos, and you use those to prove to the guest in Turo if there is any damage. You need photo evidence of it. Last thing you do for the checkout procedure is get a picture of the odometer as well as the fuel gauge. Then you take all those photos and that information from the dash, you go into the Turo app to the specific trip that you're completing the checkout for, and you upload all the photos. You say whether or not there's been damage, and you upload the odometer reading and the fuel gauge reading. If they go over on the odometer, then you can charge them additional for mileage. If they didn't fill up the fuel tank to what it was before the trip, you can charge them whatever it costs to fill it up the rest of the way, and a $10 convenience fee. Then you need to prepare it for the next trip. So we run it through a car wash between almost every trip. It gets real dirty up here. Then we vacuum. Since we don't park our vehicles at a location we own, it's a airport lot. We use a battery powered shop vac. This one's been doing pretty good for us, Cobalt. And you can get a bunch of different batteries to put in there. Got little attachments, runs pretty well. So we go through the entire vehicle. We pull out any trash, look for any large debris that the shop vac's not going to get. We vacuum everything, then we do a wipe down. We get these microfiber cloths from Costco. They've been doing really good for us. It's around $15 for 36, so really good price. And they do a great job of wiping everything down. Then we've been using Chemical Guys cleaner recently. We have Total Interior, this is rebottled. That's good for any plastic surfaces, for glass, for touch screens. Does well in the windows. And then a lot of our vehicles have leather seats, so we have a Chemical Guys leather cleaner as well to wipe that all down. So we vacuum, we wipe everything down, and all of our vehicles have weather rubberized floor mats. Those get really dirty. We often pull them out and wipe them down. This is after being wiped down. You can see there's like stained dirt on here. Maybe it would come out if we got a electric drill with a brush and really scrubbed it and pressure washed it. But that's about as good as it's gonna get with a basic wipe down with a cloth and cleaner. After everything's cleaned, the last step you do is take photos to prepare it for the next trip. Just like the post-trip photos, before cleaning, you take the same set of photos, the exterior, the interior, the odometer, and fuel gauge. This is your way of proving the condition of the vehicle before the next trip starts. So you take all those photos and you upload them to the next trip, and then you're good to go. In general, this process takes 1 to 2 hours per vehicle. It's gonna depend on how dirty it is, or what type of vehicle. We have a lot of 8-seaters. Our bigger SUVs take longer. Some families rent it and go on an adventure, and a lot of road tripping. There's a lot of extra snack debris and mud and dirt, so it takes a little longer. But most vehicle cleans, after you become familiar with the vehicle and the most efficient way to clean it, take under an hour to do. So that's really not bad and not a huge investment of time. So if we were doing everything ourselves, we currently have 5 vehicles. Say we have 1 turnover per week for each of those vehicles. 5 turnovers, that's 5 to 10 hours of cleaning. And then we probably do about 5 to 10 hours of management of those vehicles as well from our computers and phones remotely. So that would be, I would estimate, 10 to 20 hours per week to manage a 5-vehicle fleet. In our case, we currently hire out some of the cleaning to someone who's working for us, and so that really cuts down on the amount of time we have to spend. We don't have to physically be in the same location as the vehicles, and we can manage most of it remotely from our phones as we have time. 5-10 minutes here. While you're watching TV, you can reprice or message some guests. All that said, Turo is not passive income. There is a lot of work and a lot of setup in doing it, especially in the vehicle acquisition and the maintenance and all that. But if you set up the processes right and hire out some of the different needs of a Turo fleet, then it really can be a very rewarding opportunity.